we'll have to see how it goes today.
Yeah, man. Let's jump up into the map, though. Let's check out the splits that's going on. It looks like we're going to see Boone's going to do some cross-play here on the beach. I'm interested in seeing if anything happens from Red. No. Looks like Boone's going to do a three-man push over here. Semi-stealth. I think Signature might have missed it, but Super's going to go ahead and cut them off. Jumping in and see if he gets anything done. He does get locked down but for a moment there, and Fake is going to go immediately onto him. So Signature and Fake going to do some damage onto him, but here comes Ningyo to go immediately onto Signature as well. So they're going to 2v1 Signature, and they're going to mount an interesting defense of mine here. They are being kept from taking it. Henge is has been taken rather from Boone, and Helseth and Tage are taking mid right now against Ventari.
And indeed, going back over here to the mine fight, still we have Fake as AFK currently moving around here again. You can see the AOE of the Hambo coming into effect here. A lot of fire fields going down. Currently trying to focus down Ken Scout over here. But overall, looking at this mine fight, it looks like it kind of at the moment to me is looking like VoTF does have the advantage here. But things could change very quickly. Boone Empa, the Bunker Guardian who is on this node, got very low there and has now been taken into the downstate. Ningyu going to be coming in for a stomp. We did just see the knockback, the wave of light coming out there from Boone Empa. Signature is trying his, or Signature rather, trying the best to get the res off, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen there because Ningyu managed to get that stolen warrior ability off there at the last second, which brought him into the downstate completely.
Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and see what else is going on over here on the mine point. Signature getting stomped out right there by Super. That leaves Kanska to cap it up normally, and the rest will all follow into mid. We're seeing right now Fake is actually going to go ahead, and he's trying to get up to mid to join his teammates, but Ningyo's cutting him off, doing a great job running interference and keeping Boone from having that extra person onto the midpoint there. At some point, Henge was decapped, and there's going to be a lot of action here. Helseth is down, but gotten back up by thanks to the resing of Tage and Ningyo in the mid. They've captured mid now. Ventari is down. Empa comes in, pops the Resolute Healer, pushes everyone back, but actually Helseth goes down again. Both of them get up, and the fight continues.
It was actually very interesting there. Both of them went for completely full reses, which can sort of tell you that the teams are focused a lot more on keeping those members of their team actually up rather than eliminating their enemy opponent. It's something that I've noticed is more popular with a lot of EU teams. You usually see NA teams get a lot more aggressive when they have people down, such as actually trying to eliminate a player instead of resing their own players. Whereas over here on EU, I sometimes notice that teams usually opt to actually res up their teammates before they actually try and go for stomps. Like they'll be like they'll take the risk of letting an enemy get back up if it means they'll get to keep their teammates up as well.
Right. I'm watching Fake right now on mine, trying to survive a little bit, getting down into the waterfall area, and he's just being chased down by Helseth at this point. It's very rare to see a warrior being chased down like this, and he's actually going to be just fine here. That healing signet going to heal him up as he runs over to where spawn area is. Helseth is in pursuit, though. I think he'll be cut off by Tage as well, and this is going to be a really weird 2v2 with Helseth and Tage versus Fake and who's the Guardian over here? I think Empa's over here as well. Yeah. And he's actually being kept out of the fight thanks to a line of warding dropped by Tage.
And indeed, we did see that coming down there. Helseth is going to be able to put a little bit of damage there on the Boone, but overall it's just going to be a bit behind as the rest of them move back up here in the middle. Sensortick's actually taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to be forced to jump into a Shadow Refuge here and then rejoin the fight later. But overall, this is definitely not going to look too good for Boone. Actually, we said to see Tage fall back here a little bit too, because Helseth is now trying to eliminate Fake as AFK, just trying to eliminate the warrior from the fight before he actually gets in there, because he can be a dangerous proponent again because of that, because of the Eviscerate crits that could come out into play that could really shake things up a bit.
That's right. I'm still watching. Actually, Super goes immediately on Fake. So does Ningyo. They try to 2v1 him, but God, he is just so sustainable right now. He's healing so much right there. Empa is actually doing a great job staying on midpoint there as well. Chieftain rather is being taken by Signature. It took him about, I don't know, he's been there for about a minute now. Finally gets it. That'll be a team-wide boon for Boone here. Actually, that's kind of hilarious. Helseth and Tage are finally back on point in mid. They'll start capping it up there, but Empa gets on point finally, and now they're going to 2v1 him. He drops a symbol there, though, as this Tage, and that's going to be Ningyo coming up to help against the fight, help in the fight against Empa, rather. Sensitix, though, drops right outside of mid, going to get kicked to the curb right there, and we're going to see a little bit of pressure over here on Henge with Super versus Fake.
We also got some stuff going off node too. Signature along with Ventara quickly trying to focus down Tage. Signature's a little bit low. I think he tried to pull out of the Henge fight that was going on there a couple seconds ago to re-engage on a Tage along with Ventara here. But now the other two are going to come in. Super was just taken into the downstate. Fake going to be trying to execute a stomp on him now. That should go off with no trouble there. Yep, they're going to knock him out there.
So not used to that.
Very obvious new finisher.
Yeah, it's it comes out of nowhere and then it just it's half your screen. which, I mean, strategically is probably a good thing if you want to, like, block line of sight, or just, I mean, skills can go through it, obviously, but you can't see what's behind it. It's kind of obnoxious. But Henge is being defended here by Boone. It's 175 to 101, though, for VoTF, and they're doing a great job. They've got the 2-cap. Actually, no, mine has just been decapped by Senso. We've got a portal over here. I wonder if it's if we're gonna see like any. Nope, it just expired, and Hellset did not go through it, so we're not gonna see any play there. And mid's about to be decapped as well by Sick Nature. Hellset is trying to deal with Sick Nature himself, but he's quite low here in the mid, and if he takes this fight, he might have a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I actually want to go over here to Henge for a second just to point out some of the on-point rotations we have going on. If you'll note over here, they're not actually putting, or rather, I'm trying to, where did Tage go? Let me see what he's at. Tage actually did end up moving away from here, but earlier on in the fight over here at Henge, I just wanted to note something apologies, Vengeance of the Fallen was doing very good on point there. They weren't necessarily like keeping Tage as AFK on the node there. They were actually swapping out with CanScout and himself. That's a very good thing that very few teams I noticed do there. The CanScout and him were like calling out on T-Speak, okay, I need you to swap out now, so that neither of them were getting too low, and they were sort of sharing the tankiness. Because you'll note, CanScout is fairly tanky as well. He's running with a set lose aiming. He could be a bit tanky if he was running with Carry aiming, but he can take his fair share of damage as well. And that trade out does allow both of them to stay alive for a bit longer. And that's something very good I notice teams starting to do now.
That's right. And now with Hellseth adding a little bit of extra damage here, tapping in, he's going to be able to... Oh my god, actually can't scout. He's going to get taken down by Fake Vengeance just for that kill. Now will he be able to get... Oh, will he block it? No, that is the kill.
And Fake actually got rid of the Vengeance from that too.
Yeah, he'll rally off that and
oh my goodness.
He'll heal up to full and he'll get Henge, like no problem. But here comes Ninja to try and deal with it. Of course, as this is happening, Super is dealing with Sick Nature in the mid. And if we jump over to mine, there's about to be a big fight. There's Hellseth and Empa joining in against Sensitix and Tage. Hellseth pushes him off the point, but Sensitix is gonna shadow step rather into the point once again. Ventari is coming up here to support his teammates, and CanScout, fresh off the respawn, is gonna come in and try and do some work on Ventari once again. Looks like some line of warning has been laid down there by Empa. Sensitix goes down there. Ventari and Empa immediately go in for the res and get him up. No problem. Sensitix gonna pop that SR, allowing his team to stealth up, or rather just him for that point. No one really took advantage of that, but they'll be just fine here in the rest of the fight because they're actually managing to take this, and they're starting to mount a comeback that's pretty it's actually ridiculous because they have a 2-cap and they're stopping the cap on the red home point, which is very, very hard to do against a team like VoTF.
And now we're actually going to be seeing Hellseth pull out of here because Super went into the downstate. We're going to have to see Sick Nature. Probably, it looks like they're not going for a full stomp just yet. Hellseth actually coming in. Let's watch Hellseth. Look at the burst he's putting on to Sick Nature right now. Sick Nature had to pop Endure Pain there in order to avoid a lot of that. Had he not popped it, he may have gone completely down there. Unfortunately, that was a failed burst that came in there from Hellseth, though, and as such, he had to pull out. Especially with Sensitix coming into play there, too, so that would have made it for a very dangerous situation had he actually stayed in play there.
That's right. So Sick Nature has got mid on lock. Hellseth is being chased now by Empa away from the midpoint, and all of Red Team is kind of just outside of mine. They may be mounting an offensive towards Henge right now. I'm not sure if they know exactly what. Yeah, they're gonna push right through mid, but you know, I think Boone has their number here. They know exactly what's going on. They're playing defensively, and their positions are just fine. So Sensitix jumps right into the middle of mid. Gonna take some damage from pretty much everyone from VoTF. He's gonna get bassied immediately by Nino. He's gonna get spiked down there. Empa going in for the res as well as Sick Nature. Will the cleave go off? No. Sensitix gets up immediately. He's still stealth, and he's gonna run away and actually go put some pressure on mine now and try and get like either a 3-cap or a decap, or he actually might push up to spawn here as well. No, he's going straight to mine.
And it was unfortunate there. CanScout, he actually like just was coming into stealth as he got that last shatter refuge off there, so CanScout leaped past him. So CanScout, or rather Sensitix, may be able to. Yep, CanScout.
Yeah, he gets the decap. Wow, this is a ridiculous. Yeah. This is a ridiculous deficit now for VoTF. It's 283 to 230. Hellseth has something to answer to for some questions to answer coming out of this, man. Anyway, Sick Nature very low on this fight in mid here, but the Boone stacking for Boone is like pretty well off across the board. If you look over on the health bars there, Ningyo is trying to get some work done on him, but they just can't get him to the downstate. He finally gets bassied and spiked. CanScout needs to go in for the stomp. Boone and Empa going immediately in for the res, but he does get stomped through there. And they'll finally get him down. Let's see what's going on. What else is going on? Sensitix is chasing down Ningyo, and he's actually going to drop him down immediately. Boone throws down that symbols on him, and they're going to get him down, and there's another stomp. It's 365 now. Over 100-point lead for Boone going into this game, man.
Indeed it is. We can check things out right now. Sensotix waiting right now. Helseth as well in stealth. Helseth's going to be able to sneak past Sensotix and some of the other members of Boone that are here. Helseth's going to be making his way over here to blue team spawn, but he may run into some trouble as he is going to run into 2 of the Warriors. He'll actually fall back, but he will leave the portal sitting down right here, which will leave an opportunity to come back into this later. Signature as well as some of the other members of the blue team that are here. We do see the other engagement coming in from the red team now, though, so Helseth actually going to pop his portal and probably jump up. Here he comes now. He's going to be coming back over towards that, and it looks like red team wants to fully engage, considering they've brought both Tage and Kenscout over here. They're 2 big team fight supporters. They brought them over to Hen, so that means they want this node and they want to fight for it fully. But they're going to have to do this quickly because look at how far behind they are.
Yeah,
in comparison to Read It Backwards is about like 85 points away from taking this game now.
It's really running away for Boone right now. Empa is on point. He's pretty high health here. They need him out of this offensive right now. And also, if you check out mine, Sensotix is kind of 1v1ing Nino. It's a 1v fight, and Sensotix is up in health right now. I don't want to take away from the Henge fight rather, but really it's pretty much anyone's game. Sensotix can just kind of kite and juke Nino out of decap, and there's a decap on mine right now. So I want to actually call it, man. This might be too much for VoTF to handle coming out of this.
Yeah, I think it is too. They're gonna need a full decap at this point too in order to get this in as well. There is a boss spawn, but they're still over like 150 points behind at this point. So it's gonna be a really hard comeback to mount, even if they do manage to pull it off. We did have Sensotix going down over here at the mine, so Ning will be able to recap that. Red team looks like they're gonna get control here at the Henge, but they're going to need to take middle here too, and I'm just not sure if they're going to be able to do that. Helseth, though, coming in here. They're not giving up yet, though, as we can see. Ventari going to come in. Ventari will be popping a play from, though. Helseth trying his best to burst onto Ventari there, but again, with Ventari
they can immediately go take Spawnier right now at this point, and
yeah.
I think we might see Fake try and do that. Actually, Nino cuts him off immediately.
I kind of think they're just gonna like put all their assets here on the mid, because I mean, granted, we're gonna be seeing VoTF will be forced to do that regardless, because that's their only option at this point. And that will leave open for decaps, assuming Rated Backwards is considering those. That should be fairly simple to pull off. But again, we are seeing basically everyone from the blue team pile on a mid at this point, and with that, they basically should be able to hold on to it for the next 20 seconds here.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting coming into this fight, and it's with just about 7 or so seconds left in this game. We're going to be able to see if the decap can go off. Oh my god, we're also going to see Senso gets the decap off on mine full all the way through. And that's it. Reading backwards, Boone taking game 1 against VoTF, doing something that I don't think has been done before.
And what is that?
Taking game 1 off of VoTF. That's what I'm saying. Has never been done before, Blue.
Oh, it's been done. We did it last week when they went against Cheese Mode.
In game 1?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't here last week. That was you and Jebro.
Well, it's been done before.
Yeah,
you have to like.
It was impressive. I mean, VoTF had a really like commanding lead going into game 1, and they were looking like they were just going to start running away with it. But Read Backwards Boone came back and just said, no, we're going to take this game. And that's exactly what they did. They kept their home for a long time. They kept mid really, really stacked. And they kept that. I think what really kept the game in Boone's hands was that fight at mine that lasted pretty much forever. Mm-hmm. It kept VoTF from really gaining any points, and once they started putting pressure onto Henge, which they finally got their stuff together, it was kind of too late.
Yeah, you will notice that too, is the teams can sometimes get a bit, I wouldn't necessarily say tunnel vision, but they'll get a bit over-focused on fighting at one point, like you were just explaining there, and when that does happen, like, granted, the team that is sort of like trying to distract them by keeping them all that one fight over at their close point will more than likely lose in terms of the overall point game, because they'll be dying left and right, but assuming they're not rotating properly, assuming they're not moving people off the point to try and counter what's going on the other nodes, you can get a fairly dominant lead fairly quickly by playing a strategy like that, and we saw Boone pull it off there, and like we said, it worked fairly well, so we're going to have to see if they pull off something like that again in the next round. However, I think it's going to be a bit harder to try and do something like that on this map, just based on the way that the geometry of the points is on this map. Yeah, man. I am excited for this next game, though. Let's see if we can go to probably one of the first best of threes we would have had in the round 1 of the ESL Cup. Because generally those end up being quick 2-0s, but I may be proven wrong in this game coming up, assuming it starts eventually. All right, we're going to get started in just a few seconds, guys. Trying to see, it looks like everybody's going to be playing the same comps and stuff here. Yeah, looks like it. No one changing out from what I can see, at least. And then we're just going to give these guys the ready up signal. And yeah, We'll be getting started with round 2 of VoTF versus Read It Backwards Boone in just a second.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Man. Yeah. I think, you know, one thing going forward that I would like to see happen is for Read It Backwards Boone to actually ready up and start the game. I think that would be really cool, and I think it would allow them to either win or lose the next game.
Apologies, sorry.
It's alright, man.
I had to cough there for a second. And we're just sorting out some stuff. As we sort out some things going on in the arena, we'll be getting started.
Absolutely.
About 10 seconds here, hopefully. We're just waiting on the ready-ups from Read It Backwards. Strategizing, doing what they need to do, getting themselves ready for the next game here, which is going to be on Legacy of the Fofire. And for those of you just joining us that may be newer to Guild Wars 2 PvP, let's go over the map real quick. It is, as usual with all Guild Wars 2 Conquest maps, a 3 capture point map. We got the Waterfall, Graveyard, as well as the Quarry here. Quarry is the close point for red team. Waterfall is the close point for blue team. As well, we have the secondary objective that comes into play here. That's going to be the Lord spawning in both teams' bases. If you kill your enemy team's Lord, that's going to net you 150 total points. However, that guard is surrounded, or apologies, that Lord is guarded by 4 NPCs, which will assist him, but those are fairly easy to take out, and if you rush all 5, there shouldn't be too much of an issue. In addition to that, on this map, in the middle, the Graveyard point is the largest point in Guild Wars 2, which makes it a lot harder to take because bunkers and other tanky characters can kite a lot easier on this map, and it does make it somewhat difficult to get a full cap off in here, which can lead to some very stalemated mid-fights. We've had games where the middle point has actually been like decontested the entire game, so we're gonna have to see how things go though as we go into this next game of VoTF versus Read It Backwards. At the moment, we're just waiting for Ventari and Boone Empa to ready up, and as soon as they do, we shall be getting started.
Yeah, man, I'm just talking to the players in chat right now. Some people are mad right now. Let's just leave it at that. There's quite a bit of QQ coming out of VoTF. I think they're going to put on their try-hard pants and really try and nail down Boone this time around here, going into Game 2. And we're about to see the game start. It's about 10 seconds to that map until those gates open, and we're going to check out that map screen and see the splits.
All right, here we go. We're going to open up the map and check it out.
Hold on to your points.
Coming directly out of the gate here, we are going to be having 2 players from Read It Backwards making their way over here to the Waterfall. The other guys will be coming directly out of the front gate. I believe we're going to be having Fake as AFK crossing his way over here to the Quarry. However, he is going to run into 3 members of the red team here, Lord Helseth, Ningyu, and Super. In addition to that, we're going to be seeing Tage and Kanscout, the tankier members of VoTF, making their way into the middle to play over there. We're also going to be having Ventari rotate his way into middle right now, and basically everybody else is on the way to middle now, which should turn things into a very large middle fight. No one else took significant damage, so I think it's going to be fairly even out of the gate here.
Yeah, I'm watching Fake, man, because he was playing really risky going towards Quarry, but I think he cut his losses just when he needed to, when he saw the 3 members of the opposing team there, and he's about to get hunted. He did get basted for a little bit. He is on fire right now, but he's trying to help out Ventari over here and deal with Ningyo. Ningyo's going to get on point, though. He's going to get some decap points off. The question is, will Fake be able to get over there before? No, he won't. So we will see that Ningyo's actually going to go ahead and get that decapped for his team there, but Sensitix doing exactly the same thing over here on Quarry. There is a portal. Sensitix is going to go ahead and just auto-attack away over the portal to make sure that he can hit someone that goes through it if he decides to. And actually, they might grab a 2-cap immediately off the bat here, and they do.
We will see, however, as we take a look here in the middle, the VoTF focused heavily on the mid fight, and that may pay off them. The only person left alive in middle, at the moment at least, is Boone Empa. Boone Empa himself is trying to extract back over here to the Quarry at this point. However, we are seeing Sensitix go up against Super. In that matchup in a 1v1, Super should have a heavy advantage, so red team should, in theory, be able to get that point back. In addition, with Boone Empa going down, red team should, again, there's a lot of shoulds coming into play here, should be able to get the capture going back in mid in just a second here, but at the same time, they are going to have to knock out Fake, and now blue team will have to play, like, the, as I call it, the lemming strategy by putting successfully putting their spawns onto the midpoint, which could lead to some issues, I will say, later on in the game, if they do decide to do that.
That's right. Super's 1v1ing Ventari now. He just took out Sensitix over on Quarry. He needs to stay there. He locked out Ventari pretty effectively from getting on the point, got a little bit of caps off of it, but you know, I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with this Necro here, which is actually, no, Helseth is here. He's got the numbers advantage. He'll be just fine. Going to the mid, though, we do see that VoTF has got it. They're beginning to sort of stabilize here. They have Ningyo constantly going to back cap as well. They actually capped... they've capped Waterfall for a second as well. And they're getting that 2-cap advantage. They're coming back, and they're about tied up now.
Yep, again, as you can see, current score is 61-60. We just saw VoTF turn it around. They have a very small lead at the moment, but oh my goodness. What's going on over here? Yep, we're looking at it right now. Sensitix going for a stealth stomp. Oh my goodness, this could be so bad. Sensitix executing a stomp here on the Super right now. He's going to do the same thing over to Lord House and Leah Boone, but falling back over here to the core now as Sensitix has executed both of those stomps. Oh my goodness, Sensitix taking a huge advantage there over the fact that both Helseth and Super were low after the events that went on over here at Quarry. But now Ningyo going to come in and try to turn it back around onto Sensitix. Boone Empa as well going to come in support for Boone. Now what is going to happen? Sensitix now trying to turn things around onto Ningyo. We don't see anyone else from the red team coming over here to the Quarry yet, so things are going to get very interesting. As we're going to have to see how long Ningyo can survive here.
Yeah, we're going to see a split off the respawn. Helseth is going to go ahead and push towards the northern points, but we're going to see Super going to help out Ningyo. And this is going to be really interesting to see what sort of comes out of this, because we have a Guardian and a Thief going up against a Thief and a Warrior coming into this fight. It really comes down to who can get the... I think the Might Fire Fields here from Super are going to help out immensely for Ningyo if he gets in them. The amount of damage he can do extra with just the extra damage from that, rather, is going to help him so much in the Thief versus Thief fight. Sensitix is very, very low. He might get dropped in a second if Ningyo pushes in on him. There is the drop. Boone Empa going immediately in for the respawn. Will the cleave go off onto Empa? Will it be enough? We're going to see him. He gets off the respawn. He's not exactly doing it just there. And Ningyo's going to drop as well.
So this is the issue here that we see from Boone Empa going all in with the res on the Sensitix here. They really want to try and they need to keep that damage in the player, because if Sensitix goes down, Boone Empa's going to die like 10 seconds later. Boone Empa wanted so hard to keep Sensitix alive, but because Boone Empa wanted to go in there, because it was so easy for Ningyo to just pop cluster bombs onto the area, Boone Empa unfortunately got a lot lower because of the result of it, and generally ended up keeping control of this point for a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, so we're going to see mid is kind of undefended here. Signature is running around the edges. Actually, Ningyo Bassie's Signature and is going to catch him off guard there, but he manages to get away just fine. He's going to cycle back to Waterfall, where this big fight has been locked up for a long time. So red team VoTF has managed to keep a single capture point, which is the mid, even though they just by pressuring the areas around it and forcing Boone to be where, just not be in the mid, right? And so this has really kept them in the lead here, but now the fight's going to head back to mid. Super and Helseth are going in on Signature. Empa going immediately in for the hard res. Well, they're not going to be able to get the cleave. Actually, they get the stop off, and now Empa's alone in the mid, and that's going to be a lot of trouble for him. We're going to see also over at Quarry, Ningyo versus Sensitix once again, and Empa's playing up on the ledges there. He might run over here and start the 2v1 once again, but we did see Ningyo Bassie up onto Sensitix for just a second there, trying to get some damage done, and Helseth is trying to come in and support in this fight as well.
So, based on what I've been seeing here so far up to this point, I do think that Boone wants to try and play for a side point strategy again on this map as well, just because of the fact that so far every time we've seen Boone try to go into mid to like initiate a small team fight in mid quite a few times now. Unfortunately, that hasn't worked so well. May start to turn right now because we do have Signature going into mid, and he'll get a decap here for free. Helseth, oh my goodness, Helseth coming in there just a couple seconds too late and was unable to stop a decap. But just generally based on what we've seen, I do think that Boone is going to be trying to play for a 2-cap strategy on the side points just because of how the team fights have been going.
Well, I mean, look at the score right now, Blue. It's 231 to 70. Like, this is a combination of not only keeping the points and keeping Boone locked up in those fights, but it's also the fact that they're winning these fights. You know, I bet. So, like, if we look at the scoreboard, I wonder how many kills are locked up in the score here. Ningyo and Super both 75 points apiece. Sensitix has got 50 for the other team.
I mean, yeah, taking a look at it, like in terms of like, because generally personal scores don't mean too much, but we can get a generally like a pretty good look at like how the team fights have been going by looking at the personal scores. And in all honesty, it's been fairly even so far. It just seems that up to this point, VoTF has been doing a bit of a better job at actually getting rotations off and just generally holding caps for longer. But like in terms of how fights have been going, like how many wins each team has, it's still looking fairly even, at least based on the personal scores. I think that we're seeing VoTF starting to take a small lead on that now, but it's not like overwhelming or anything like that. Yeah,
and Helseth has been fighting Sensitix, by the way, over here outside of Quarry, and Sensitix is defending the point and actually trying to take down Helseth, and he's doing a pretty decent job. His health is quite low, about 5.5k here, with no support around here at all. He's actually about to take a 2v1 here. A Signature comes up as well, and he actually gets Sensitix down, pops the stealth, and leaves a portal there. He might just actually open the floodgates for his team to come back and take that in a second.
Knowing Helseth, I think he's actually going to try to juke out Sensotix here over the next few seconds is probably what's going to happen. Once he gets far enough away, he'll probably just pop the portal open again. Actually, he's going back to middle now. He may have no choice in a couple seconds here. I will note that Sensotix was doing a nice job of keeping on to Helseth, though, but Helseth has rejoined mid-fight now and may fall back there over the next few seconds. They did know the portal, though, so this is going to keep Signature sort of chained to that point right now, unless they just want to give it up, at which point they would be able to get the extra team support in here coming in from Signature, but with the portal being down here at the moment, that is going to force Signature to just sort of AFK back over there at Quarry for the time being.
Yep, and I'm looking at Waterfall right now. Fake is kind of locked down here versus Kanska, but Super gets taken down by Sensotix. Unlucky spike there from Sensotix now will free up Sensotix to move over towards Waterfall and deal with Canscout. Now in the 2v1 of the Spirit Ranger and the Thief here, as well as Fake as the Warrior here, they're going to lock him down and they're going to get tons of damage down on him before they end up taking him down. Over in the mid-fight though, we're going to see actually Boons are going to decap it and start capping it for themselves here. Helseth is really the only one putting any pressure in on this point, as Nino is going to go ahead and take Quarry as well.
Well, Helseth's very low. You see right now how cautious he's being. He's even having to pop his Blurred Frenzy there. He's using it as a defensive cooldown instead of actually popping it like for damage like you would normally see. With Boon Empa coming in here, they will be able to knock him out. Super will come in now, try to get an interrupt off. Unfortunately, actually, no, Helseth is going to be forced to pop his Deception there, but now Sensotix will come in here as well to get more cleave damage off onto Helseth's down body. Boon Empa will come in now with the Stability Stomp and will successfully be able to knock out Helseth there again.
Absolutely, man. That's going to be, I mean, they're starting to come back here, but they still have half of the points of VoTF at this point. So as long as Canscout can just stay on Waterfall, like he doesn't have to kill Fake. If they can stay in for like another probably half a minute or a minute, they can actually just push Lord.
Yeah,
and,
that's kind of what I think is going to end up happening here too. We had VoTF been holding on to their caps for a little bit longer. Like had they gotten to the 400 mark with them, I think they would have played it more safely and just tried to go for the cap holding. But the way they're holding their points here is starting to destabilize quite a bit. Boone is starting to poke through a little bit here, and I'm not sure if they're going to want to take a risk on a comeback or not. So I do agree with you when I say that, or when you say that, they're probably going to end up rushing Lord over the next few moments here.
Yeah, I just saw Super get stomped out in the mid as well. They're starting to get what VoTF is doing here. They're starting to realize how to rotate here. Tage getting taken down there by Sensotix, and actually a Shadow Step Stomp from Sensotix as well right there. Helseth gets in the mid, but he has no support around here just yet. He's trying to meet up with his teammates. He's going to portal over to Quarry and grab that right about now, actually.
Yep.
And Canscout, doing a decent job, is still fighting Fake, and now Sensotix is here as well.
He actually took down Fake about 2 minutes ago, but Fake now coming off of the respawn did go in there for the re-engagement now that he had Sensotix coming in to support him as well there. But we do need to know that Canscout has basically been holding out like always in combat there for the past 2 to 3 minutes now, and now is finally going to get taken out in that outnumbered scenario.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight there. I'm watching Nino, though. He's actually dropped outside of mid, and Sensotix is just going to mess with him, I think. He's almost rezzed up, though. No one's really done anything. He'll get up off the respawn and then start fighting once again. So that's really interesting to see there, as actually Signature getting stomped out over by Quarry. Red, everything pushing up towards mid here. They're not exactly ready to push the Lord just yet. They have the points requisite to do so, but I don't think they're organized enough. They're not in a position that's going to be safe yet.
I think they're confident that like they may be able to win this with, like, granted we do see them pushing forward now, but I mean I'm starting to think more and more about this. Usually we don't see teams like go for the Lord Rush that often here, especially over on EU. So I don't know. I think they're confident in the fact that they can hold on to this, but I just don't know if they'll be able to. Boone has been doing a really nice job at like poking through them, constantly getting decaps off on their nodes and whatnot, so I think it may be a safer choice to go for Lord, but if they can definitely pull things together, obviously it would be the much safer choice than hold on to nodes here. It's just a matter of can they actually successfully hold on to those nodes, which they have been having issues doing for the past few minutes now.
That's right, and you know they're locking up more people in this fight at Waterfall rather. Helseth's gonna go ahead, poke it mid, drop some illusions over here and stealth up and see exactly what he can try and do. I think Signature doesn't even fall for it. He's trying to get something done over at Quarry where Super has dropped down to Ventari, but Signature's gonna cut him off, man, and not allow Helseth to get over there. And actually, Sensotix just immediately spikes on him. He drops the portal, goes to the other side of mid there, and Signature's going to try and trade him down. He's about 4k health. He might have a little trouble going into this pop stealth again. And he's going to have to fight back here. They've lost their all of their capture points. It's 414 to 292 now. Boom mounting a comeback. Will it happen, man? Comeback. I got
We do actually see VoTF starting to take pretty decent control of the waterfall over here now. So, and I think, yep, here we go. They're rushing towards the gate right now. As soon as they get control of this, they're gonna go in for Lord. They're still actually, never mind, they're in range. But yeah, they're probably gonna take control of this node here. They've left Empa.
check out red base, dude.
Uh-oh.
Ventari and Sensitix trying to do exactly the same thing right now. They know that they have the capture points. They know that Super's trying to run interference. This might cause a little bit of a problem. But he gets Bassied immediately. It's going to keep the Bassie from going on to the Lord there. That's just one interrupt. He's kind of like wasted just a little bit there. The red push actually is doing a decent job. This is going to come down to the second blue as we see the blue Lord actually goes down. And there it is. VoTF will win the game 574 to 350 despite the 3 cap of read it backwards. So wow, that was a little close there, man.
It was. It's a bit tense, man. But anyway, we did see VoTF take that game, so it is going to tie us up now at 1-1, and we'll now be pushing onward to a third game in the first round, I should mention.
Yep, that's I mean, if it were any other team, I would say it's surprising between read it backwards and VoTF. I'm really glad that we get these guys in. Oh, it sucks that we get them in round 1, but I'm glad that we get them.
But we are going to be going on to the Battle of Kylo, which that should be very interesting, because again, we usually don't see the third round go into, so it's going to be very interesting to see how both these teams play. Like, we really don't have much data on how these teams end up playing on this map, because it usually ends up going to 2-0 scenarios, so we're going to have to see how these guys play it out. But with this one, though, what predictions, sir? Who do you think this one's going to end up going to?
I think actually Boone might take it. And I'm not betting anything, because I already left my beard behind in the GVG that we casted last time, but I think they have a good chance at it. I think the double warrior is just really strong. Also, Helseth is on the wrong team right now, which is hilarious. But like Signature and Fake, having that warrior pressure where you need it, like just in 2 places, is super strong for read it backwards. It's really tripping up VoTF a little bit, and you know, they were. At the same time, though, VoTF was just so dominant in the last game for the first, like, I don't know, 12 minutes of that game. Mm-hmm. Like, it was... The question is, will read it backwards be able to adapt to anything that VoTF throws out, and will VoTF throw out something that, you know, Boone has to adapt to? So...
But I definitely would agree with you. I do think that I personally am going to throw this one in the favor of Boone as well, just because of like how strong they've been on the back caps and whatnot, especially in that last game there. And generally this map, in terms of a back cap game, goes somewhat the same way that we see Legacy going. And I do think that Boone was doing a much better job on the back point game that on the last round there. So,
yeah.
And I think it's even more crucial on this map than it is on Legacy. So I do think that we will be seeing this one going to Boone just because of how good that they've been so far with their back caps and whatnot, and they're going to take huge advantage of that. But we will have to see as we go into the third round. We're almost ready to go. And yeah, let's go into the in-game cams and get ourselves ready, as we're tied up now at 1-1 and going into the third round.
Yeah, I just thinking about this, Helseth has got that portal play that he loves to do. If he decides to stick on Treb, which is such a strong tool in this map, and like when it dies, obviously people can use portal to get that repair kit through there. But also if he uses it to really just apply pressure to the side points and apply pressure to the clock tower, that's going to be something that's going to be very strong against the composition of Boone. At the same time, though, they do have mobility in the sense of that Sensitix can be pretty much everywhere with the short bow, Shadow Step. It all comes down to mobility and numbers on this map, and the Treb.
Mm-hmm. The Trebs going to be pretty key too, but more than likely, I think Trebs are going to get, because it's sort of been the trend recently where Trebs have been like usually handled within the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So and usually on the high tier game at least, you don't see teams going for repair kits as often just because it ends up being a waste of time. So I don't think Trebs are going to be a huge issue. Like the first fight or two, it may come into play. It kind of really depends on how teams want to handle the Treb, if they want to use it at all. So, yeah, it should be interesting to see how it goes though.
I mean, I think that that initial fight for Clock Tower is pretty telling of how the rest of the game will be. So as we're seeing the split right now, Helsa does opt to go up to the Treb immediately. Blue team kind of ignores it, and so that's going to allow them to get some work done here on Treb. He's already got the walls broken down. He's going to start throwing some shots.
Boone not going for mid. They're only sending one to mid.
Oh yeah, they're pushing far. They're doing a lot of work here. Super sees it. Empa gets on the point before they even cap it, as well as Signature. And here's Sensei to do some extra pressure here as well. So all they've really done is send one person to mid to sort of stop it up. They've sent someone to Mansion, and now we're gonna see that Ningyo's gonna go ahead and take their take the opposing Treb out for red team.
I don't actually know if I agree with this move by Boone.
Yeah?
I don't agree with this move. Okay, so things to consider here is that Boone didn't have anyone on Treb. Had they had someone on Treb, this would have been a much better move because of the fact that, okay, you could have turned that Treb over there, they wouldn't have known it was coming, and you would have had the Treb support coming in there. Look at this, we already saw VoTF getting the cap too, and now they'll more than likely end up getting mid more because of this. In addition to that, VoTF was using their Treb, so you were not only going to be coming over here, and now granted it would have taken a bit longer because the red Treb guy was going to have to rotate it over there, but just in general, I don't know, it just didn't seem like things were lining up there, and it did end up failing, unfortunately, so they were forced to fall back to mid. Granted, they didn't lose the full mid cap, but they are going to be at a serious disadvantage now coming into it, especially with like Ventari and some of the others being at really low health pools after trying to evacuate out of that windmill fight.
That's true, and also what's worth noting is that Helsa has the portal actually open.
Yeah.
Sensei though is sweeping back here to take out Windmill, and he'll get it. There's no one here to really change that that fact there. As pretty much everyone from VoTF is locked up in this mid fight. Helseth though actually gets on the trap immediately. He starts throwing some balls of fire in there. Everyone sort of dodges it. No one's really eating those just yet. And we do see his Can Scout has been dispensed to deal with Senso. Stops the cap. No one's really pushing Mansion, though, and they can, if they decide to throw someone away, go grab that and get the decap at least.
I'm not sure if they're going to want to do that in the current situation here, just because of how many blue team members are around. Because they would easily, because as well, they got respawns going off pretty soon, so they'd very easily be able to fall back over to Mansion if they needed to.
And we're gonna see Boone Empa doing just a fine, doing a good job here, taking the 2v1, keeping it decapped here. But we will see Helseth taking, going away from the Treb there, going over to Windmill to deal with Sensitix along with Can Scout, but Can Scout getting taken out by Sensitix, having a little bit of a tough time there. That's just fine. Sensitix actually stealth up in an SR over here, just under the ledge. He's not pushing back towards Helseth just yet. He's going to go ahead and shout step to the top of mid here and just add to the fight here. Red team is very close to capturing mid, though. If they can get everyone from blue off point for probably just another second, they'll cap it up.
And as well, Ningyu made his way back over here, and he's going to be dying now back over here at the mansion, as Ningyu will be going into the downstage. Signature should be able to knock him out over the next few seconds here. He's actually in stealth, so he could self-res. I can't see the stealth duration there. Came out of it right now. Let's see. Oh, he's actually going to take damage there, so he won't be able to get himself out. And that will allow Boone Empa to get back in control. Apologies, that will allow Boone to get back control over here at the mansion. But the mid fight is still going on, pretty much in full swing. Overall, in terms of the game that we've seen over here, red team VoTF has been winning the mid fight pretty dominantly, but we've still seen Rita backwards holding a pretty tight contestant still in middle, so don't think it's going to get capped anytime soon.
Yeah, I was just watching Ningyu on the downside. He's kind of just like throwing rocks at the back of Signature's head and just not doing anything, and then he finally dies out there. Just kind of hilarious to watch. But back in the mid-fight, man, all of Red's capture points have sort of ticked away, and Boone's doing a decent job. Tage gets bassied there by Senso, and Boone has the lead right now, 105 to 74 right now, 75. Over at Windmill, we're going to see that Fake went over to deal with that. Helseth putting out a portal just outside of the clock tower, but it did expire just now. And he's going to try and help out against Fake as well in this 2v1 situation. Over in mid, though, Super actually drops. Tage going in for the res immediately, and that's going to be, who's that? That's Ningyo on Treb for red team. You know, no one's exactly doing that for blue. It's added pressure that's really keeping VoTF in the fight here in mid.
We do know that Boone as well doing a nice job of winning right now, and with the pressure coming off of mid from the VoTF side, that is, blue team should have a fairly easy job actually dodging a lot of these trap shots. In addition to that, they did send one of the blue team members over here a couple seconds ago, Sick Nature, that is, made his way over here to the trebuchet. He's going to be DPSing that down, but he is going to leave it up, so if Ningyu wants to try and troll around a little bit here, he can probably just get right back up on that trap in a couple seconds.
Yeah, that's probably, I'm not sure if that's a mistake or not, a line that tried to survive, but the lead is actually kind of gaining for Boone. They were just 25 points ahead earlier, here. Now it's about 30-ish. Ningyo, though, over at Mansion, going to go ahead and grab that. He's going to get the decap before anyone else gets on it. And Fake is trying to come in here and deal with Ningyo, which will be enough pressure to force him away. But he might get caught up by Signature before that. Hellseth, though, what's he up to right now? Looks like he's going to be playing the scaffolding outside of mid, where the main fight is, and Windmill is being taken by Senso right now.
As we check out Hellseth again, coming into stealth for an engagement here. Unfortunately, his Shatter, which would have potentially done like anywhere from basically would have done a lot of damage there. Got blocked out by Bunepa's shelters, so very unfortunate indeed. He's now going to have to re-engage. He's still going to take down TFL Ventari like we saw there. We're going to have to see now Tage coming in for a stomp, and that is going to connect. And now again, Red Team will start to take an advantage in middle, possibly the cap now too, because look, everyone from blue is gone at middle. We may finally see Clock Tower being capped.
Oh no, Empa gets on it just in the last second. And it's also going to have a significant impact on the play here coming forward. But if we look at the other points here, if we look at Windmill, Tage is trying to deal with both Signature and Senso. Hellseth coming up to support. Senso is actually trying to get away here, trying to drop. Oh my god, I'll drop her to the downside immediately. Ningyo coming up as well. Hellseth will Hellseth go ahead and try and go for the zombie? Will, and so will Tage actually, as Ningyo tags in on the point there. And here comes Super. So they're gonna take their home, and they're gonna try and push and keep mid though. Can Scout is around there. There is a portal over here on mid, so wherever Hellseth is, he can drop that as soon as they finish dealing with everyone at Windmill and come back defend mid if they need to.
And they basically got Windmill under control for the most part. We do have to note over here, they are doing the strategy that VoTF we're speaking of at the moment here, is doing the strategy where they keep most of their team fighters, including their Bunker Guardian, back over there at the far point, while they keep their Spirit Ranger over here in the middle to keep that strong 1v1 presence, especially against Fake. Now, Portal just opened. That is Blue Team Portal, I believe. No, actually, no, cancel that.
That's it's VoTF.
That's VoTF Portal. And look, now that the pressure is going back onto mid, Tage as well as Ken Scout are going to trade places with that Portal. No one else will come through. That is some really good rotation.
Red Team wins the capture point.
Yep, they're going to tap each other, I guess. Empa is down over here. Does anyone notice him? Yep, there's Hellseth going to go ahead and try and take this guy out. He'll have that no problem here. And Tage is going to deal with Ventari and Fake here. Hellseth's actually tapping in over here at mid as well, dealing with the dead body of Empa just fine there. That's Can't Scout actually taking him out with the pet. And now Red's going to push away towards Mansion, try and slowly but surely ensure that they come back here. I wouldn't expect Ningyo to try and go for a full cap here. If he gets the decap, he'll be lucky. He does get it. He's going to push away here. And so the game is now tied up once again with VoTF slowly encroaching on their lead.
So now VoTF, they have their positioning. This is what they were troubling. This is what they were having a lot of trouble getting in the first two games because Boom was doing such a nice job of splitting them up in team fights and going for back paps and all that. They were having a lot of trouble getting this position, but this is like their signature position right now. They keep Can Scout on the fight with less pressure, and they put Tage on the main fight. Now again, we're probably going to see Can Scout and Tage trade out over the next few seconds because Tage is in middle at the moment. He is going around, but they have decent control of middle. But as soon as the pressure switches back over to Windmill, Tage and Can Scout will trade again. That's their key thing there. They keep the bunker presence evenly split, and that has been awesome for them. Now they gotta watch out though, because there's still stuff coming back in the middle, and middle Clock Tower is gonna be really dangerous, especially since Tage is not running sword, so he really can't get back up on mid easily. So again, we did see the decap going out there because of Ventari getting a fear off, a very nice fear off on a Tage, and now they're gonna have to work to get that back over the next few seconds. That is the thing that Boone needs to abuse. They need to get these little decaps off and to just abuse the hell out of them.
But check out over here on Mansion. Supers are using this time to go over to Mansion, get the decap, and now we'll entirely cap it here. He may have to deal with Signature off the respawn. Over here on Windmill, Can Scout's got to deal with Sensitix, and we will see that Hellseth is getting stomped. Oh, he will not get stomped. What? Oh, that was a Spirit of Nature renewal. That res. That was super clutch there.
I was almost guessing if that was going to be in range or not. That had been pretty close to max range.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, we still see Sensitix applying heavy pressure to Hellseth at the moment. Hellseth is still about 10 seconds away from his heal, so in theory, Sensitix should be able to just re-engage, get it off on him. He will have to watch out for the burst coming out from Hellseth, but there we go. Lucky cluster bomb there coming off from Sensitix is going to take Hellseth into the downstate. Can Scout going to be trying his best to get a res up onto Hellseth right now. It's going to be close though, but again, we got to watch out for the Thief Cleave coming in. Fake
get it.
But it's going to be enough. They'll get it back up. No one else from Red has fallen back here yet either, so this is actually some pretty impressive resilience coming out here for the members of VoTF.
Absolutely. Tage has kept two members of the opposing team locked up in a fight on mid. Now Ningyo comes in for support here. He's going to force Fake to Fake who's actually down over on Windmill. Hellseth going in for the stomp. Oh my god, he bended his last second. They're going to try and get Can Scout down. They won't get it.
Oh my god, Hellseth just oh my goodness, that was so good from Hellseth. He just got two interrupts off in a row. We got a stomp race coming up. Let's attack the center.
No! Not even
Oh my
close.
goodness. But as you see, oh my god.
Dying
Oh my god.
Sensitix will die as well. Great stuff coming out of VoTF in that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe they took that fight.
Those were some of the most well-timed interrupts I've ever seen from Helsa there. That was amazing. He just saved the day over there. Had he missed one of those interrupts, they would have gotten the cap there. That was impressive to say the least. Wow, really nice job by Helsa. Now they're going to be making their way back over to CT. Now they've got both of the side caps. Blue team looks like they want to put a lot of pressure on middle since they still have a D cap there. However, I'm not sure that's such a good idea considering that that they are going to be eliminating Boone Emperor over the next few seconds. It looks like the plan is being changed though, as we see a lot of their members are making their way over here to Windmill. I want to know, why are they not going for their home node? It should be such an easy take for them right now. They had like 4 people coming out of spawn. They could have easily taken that. I don't know, man. It's not looking good for Boone now.
Yeah, they're angry and they're hungry, and they need both of these side points. You know, they can't just win off of a non-drastic move here, so they're gonna send fake inventory to try and cap up Windmill, but they kind of lose everything into a 3 cap situation. Sensitix gonna try and get on point here. I don't know if Super sees him. There he is, finally getting it over there, but yep, and he's locked up off point now for Sensitix just for a second, and then I'll allow him to get, oh, he won't get the decap off. Super gets on point just in time, but Ampa's over here, knocks him off, and there's the decap of mid. Super not quite able to stay on the point there. Now Helsa is in fight with Signature over here, doing actually he just healed. He should be fine for now, but he's gonna need support pretty soon. The rest of his team though did finish off fake. They are sort of moving around here. Sensitix is gonna have to fight away Ningyo going into this fight over here outside the clock tower between and that's it.
GG. So with that, we're gonna give this set to Vengeance of the Fallen, who will be moving on into the semifinals.
Wow.
In a very well-deserved
Red team got a capture point.
That one fight with Kanscout and Helsa, just I'm still sort of like stunned that happened so well for them. I mean, the Vengeance was so well timed from the Warrior. I think that was fake, and just it came down to like who has the last cooldown possible. You know that game where you have something and you like do that hand over hand thing, and that the last hand wins. That last hand is like Helsa's last interrupt, and also it was fake dying from the Vengeance, just at the worst possible time for Senso, because it rallied Kanscout.
That was very on edge that entire fight, and it was easily the highlight of that game. But we are going to be seeing Vengeance of the Fallen moving on, so congrats to them. They'll be moving on to take on, let me see if I can get the brackets pulled up here really quickly.